I know for many ensembles it's kind of a big thing to start getting grants, and often it's difficult. So just wondering how that process was for you and for TALEA.
It was really thrilling to do. I mean, I remember countless nights and days and weeks where Beth and I would just stay up, it felt like all night. And the first year, it was sort of around the time of the recession happening, so a lot of those foundations that we wrote grants for that we never even got no longer really exist, or at least fund contemporary music. So it was an interesting time for us to be asking for foundational support because a lot of people were just cutting back. So here we are, a new organization who has a really hard fight as it is. But it was tough, actually, different from the beginning. We wrote so many grants. We wrote 20, and we got 2 or something like this for the first year, and we worked really hard on it. I mean, every aspect of it we tried to make, the way we formatted, the way we wrote. Beth and I would go back and forth. I would write, and she would edit, then she would write, then I would look at it. But sort of also learning how to write a grant was a trick that, or not a trick, but a skill that was difficult. And Beth had some time with actually the grant writer Juilliard, and he really was generous and talked to her about some ideas. And it's a little bit, figuring out how to ask for funding is defining the need. That was actually the real skill that I think that we developed long term, was being able to describe the importance of what we feel the community needs.
And when you are approaching, going to grants, etc., is it something that you have in mind for specific projects?
Yeah, every foundation is a little bit different. We've been really fortunate to get funding from the French-American Cultural Exchange, and that's totally French music, coming to the States, or American music going to France. So that, when we write a grant for them, obviously I have a project with a French composer or a French musician in mind, and we write it with that angle. Some grants that we write are more general, from the city, for New York State, or for American music at the Copeland Fund. We find, but a lot of them, understanding what the foundation supports is another skill. You wouldn't write a $500,000 grant to a foundation that supports much smaller things. We figured out, who supports what, why they support this, and maybe not that, and it's never an exact science, because a lot of times the foundation is just an entity, and they hire or ask a panel which changes every year, and every time the panel may want something different. Of course, they're choosing projects that fit within the foundation's mission, but it's always a crapshoot.
What advice would you give to young musicians, or any musician that decides they want to take a turn at grant writing?
Well, just sort of as a starting point and a kind of cheap option, the Foundation Center has grant writing seminars, and you can just go attend them. But Chamber Music America has grant writing seminars, and I think NISCA has something like that. And you just follow kind of any lead that you can to get more information.